Happy Thursday. This will come out on some Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, I think is what you meant to say.
Just a peek behind the curtain, you know?
Yeah.
A little tease.
David, did you get the new Dungeon Crawler Carl book?
I pre-ordered it on Audible weeks ago. So yes, I have started said book. And yeah, as any Dungeon Crawler Carl fan knows, Donut is terrifying.
Yes. I'm already at chapter 27 or 30.
Okay, you're way farther than I am. I don't think I've hit chapter 10 yet.
I had this problem yesterday. Well, because I was trying to finish up the 7th book ahead of this coming out. So I was like in Dungeon Crawler Carl mood. And so as soon as the 8th one came out, I had like just finished the 7th. So I rolled right into it.
Nice.
And the only problem I really have is that I was listening to it as I was winding down yesterday at work. And then I got into like a hyper focus. And when I came out of it, I was like, oh crap, I had to rewind a bunch of chapters because I was like, I have no idea what's been happening in my ear for the past hour or whatever.
Not to completely derail us off of, real Ruby related conversations, but are you into role-playing games at all?
Not really.
Okay. Well, for those that are and who haven't heard about this, there's currently a crowdfunding for a Dungeon Crawler Carl tabletop role-playing game.
Nice.
That's just so on brand and just so there's like perfect synergy. Let's go.
I mean, they're coming out with a live action TV show, which I'm not happy about because number one, it's at Peacock. So it's going to be low budget, but Seth MacFarlane is the producer or whatever, which is a good thing in my opinion. But I don't think any live action can remotely come close to being what a fan would want to see. Like, I think it has to be like anime almost. There's so much gore.
Even outside of the gore, just like the special effects and the different alien races and just the absurdity of a lot of the things that happen even outside of it's super gory and people are losing limbs and whatever else.
Yeah. I am excited to see what happens there though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done derailing us. We can put the train back on the rails.
Pun intended.
Real talk.
Oh, I'm trying to think what's new other than Rails World tickets were... What day was that? Tuesday?
Yesterday.
Tuesday morning. Rails World tickets are live, and for the first time ever, they're still available.
They didn't,
even though it's
instantly sell out.
Thursday, like 48 hours later.
Me and a few coworkers were in a call to like remind each other that we had to do it. So as soon as like the time dropped, I was instantly like banging away on my keyboard. I got in and I was like, oh, sweet. And then an hour or two later, Drew was like, oh, damn, I completely forgot. He's like, oh, never mind. I got one. I was like, all right, cool. I guess that's hopefully a side effect of there being more tickets available and not there being less interest this year.
Yeah, my guess is there is some less interest because people don't particularly want to come to the US at the moment. But also, I feel like Colin and I were talking about the economy in general is just rough and everything's so expensive. And so I could also imagine that people are cutting back on traveling and stuff like that too. So, but there's also ridiculous amount of layoffs in tech again happening. So spending in general for companies, because you think of an event like this where there will be plenty of people who will pay out of pocket to go for themselves, but also companies. And maybe the companies are also holding back a little bit on conference travel or whatever too. So I'm excited for it. Hoping that we get some new Rails functionality, maybe some new Hotwire stuff. I don't know. I saw Jason Fried had invited a few people to Basecamp 5 and then had posted a teaser video of like creating a new project in Basecamp 5 today and like the flow of it and the UI changes and stuff. And it's just becoming more and more interactive inline and stuff. So there's like the grid of tools that you normally create and enable during the new project form. That is now new project form is just like a title, create the project. It's empty of tools, the little plus button, and it like has a cool slide in animation for the form. You select the thing, it adds it. moves the plus button over. So you can tell that it's lots of little hot wire things. I assume like the plus button embeds the new tool form in like a turbo frame or something and whatever. So I'll be real curious to play with that and see how they're doing the UI and interactions and stuff with it. But maybe that means we've also learned some new techniques, like when Jorge was working on Hey Calendar and came out with broadcast refreshes and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah. We have a pattern that's pretty prolific at Podia at this point where like you open a drop down and you click a button.
Pretty prolific at Podia. I really like the alliteration there.
Yeah. You click a action button and it opens a drop down, and then you click a button like cancel or delete or something. And then that replaces the drop down with we're using a Tippy and Popper, I believe. I think I'm missing one, but basically you click the button, it opens the drop down, you click a button in the drop down and it replaces the drop down with a form or whatever. And the nice part about that is if you hit like the discard or the cancel button on the form, it goes back to being the drop down.
That's cool. I've seen that pattern in several UIs. I can't think of others at the moment, but like I always liked that. It felt natural because you don't, if you click something and what else are you going to do? A modal, and then you'd be kind of pulled out of context and a little confused. That also might accidentally close the drop down or something. And it just keeps you in the same context. You're still looking at the exact same thing on the page. And I feel like that's a really slick thing to do. So long as the UI fits in that, I guess, size. Does the box get any bigger or anything?
Yeah, we boost the size of it a bit. I think we have like a set max width on it. But yeah, it does grow.
That's cool. I like the idea a lot. It just feels so much more natural in the flow.
There was one thing I wanted to ask you about that came across my mind this week.
Here we go. Is it about Stripe?
No. I was going to try to get through this episode without talking about that because I could talk about that for a while and I don't want to. I was trying to use Git work trees, which I can't really stand, to be honest. But in the process of using that, I was like, I remember, I'm like, oh crap, you got to like yarn install and it's got to make a new node modules folder. I'm like, this is insane. I was like, if you don't clean these up properly, you could have these all over the place. And that got me thinking, I was like, maybe I should take a look back at my PNPM like attempt that I tried a few weeks ago. And funny enough, at the same time, my project partner was like, yeah, I got like kind of interested in PNPM today. So I started playing with that. I was like, oh, I already have an open PR for that I haven't done anything with. Funny. But
I'm going to crush both of your dreams. If you're still on PNPM, are you?
We're on Yarn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to crush your PNPM dreams though, because did you see Jeff Dickey made PNPM replacement?
No, I did not.
AUBE, AUBE. And it's like the same conceptual thing as how PNPM does it, where it's like a centralized like bundler or whatever, where there's a centralized install of all of the packages and all of the versions. And then it like symlinks them or whatever so that you don't have duplicates everywhere, which is lovely. But it's Jeff. Everything is going to be kick-ass, faster, way better. He's been like shipping features on that like crazy. He's already got a bunch of the security stuff in there for like, if I remember right, the install hooks and stuff run in some sort of jail so they can't abuse your system and whatever. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to just swap that out. It will also read your yarn.lock or your PNPM lock file or packagelock.json, whatever, bunlock, I think even. So you might be able to just kind of swap it out and then voila, you've got your solution.
But doesn't JS bundling Rails and CSS bundling Rails like hard code that they accept like Yarn, NPM, and PNPM? Because I saw a PR
there was like, a way to...
Originally, it only supported Yarn, and like the addition of the other package managers wasn't that long ago.
Right. I don't remember if there's a plugin system for it or not, but I think a lot of it's rake tasks. So you can probably just build your own rake task that do the same sort of thing. Yeah, because there's like a module, JS bundling tasks. The install command just does a case statement on the tool. Bun install, yarn install, pnpm install. So you could probably just build a real quick little override to put your own in there. But that also seems like one of those things that maybe this needs to be a bit more complex in reality, but like having a way to register, like refactoring this so you could just have like a way to register a tool like bun or yarn or pnpm and then ask the tool for its install command would be a smarter way of doing this. Because right now it's very rudimentary and hard coded, but then you could totally register OB or something else. It's just kind of right now built on like the assumption that people are not going to make new package managers, which probably wrong considering we already saw another one and it's JavaScript and they love to freaking reinvent the wheel. So who knows? And I don't really know if those I don't know who maintains that. DHH looks like he merged something a year ago was the last commit. So I don't know if it really gets much maintenance at all anymore, but I bet you honestly, you wouldn't even need to use JS bundling Rails. You could just build your own rake task that hooks into the same things as it does and use that as a template. And then you got your own custom OB integration.
Yeah.
It's probably the easiest way, to be honest.
Are you tired of babysitting your job queues? Let us do it for you. JudoScale monitors and autoscales your job queues so you can stop babysitting and get back to coding. We support Sidekick, SolidQ, GoodJob, and just about every other job backend in Rubyland. And of course, we autoscale your web services too. JudoScale scales up your apps faster than any other autoscaler, so request timeouts and backed up job queues are mitigated before they become a problem. JudoScale has a free plan you can use forever, so there's literally no risk, whether you're on Heroku, AWS, Render, or any other cloud platform. Visit judoscale.com and get your job queues under control.
Well, outside of completely switching to a new one, I did have a question for you because I know we talked about this not long ago. You had mentioned this. Because my first instinct when setting up PNPM was like, oh, I add it to my me. I go look up how to set it up in Mies, and then I set it up in Mies, and then I go on my happy way. And then I remembered you had brought up CorePack.
Yes.
And
which is the recommended way to do things as far as I understand with Node, which basically is just put in your package JSON package manager entry and have that point to PNPM. And if I remember right, I thought that was one of the installation instructions. Yeah, you can use CorePack, which they recommend above other package managers. It's also hilarious that their instructions are installing PNPM through NPM.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you really just use CorePack enable PNPM and you're set, because then as long as CorePack's installed, it's going to use that. It's the thing that manages the shim. So when you use npm install, yeah, I think CorePack is when you install CorePack, that's when it injects the shims in there somewhere, but only if you've like enabled it in the package JSON. So that's the way I would recommend doing it, because that's probably the best way of, I'll say that in air quotes, at least at the moment, that's sort of like from Node itself as the recommendation of how to choose your package manager. And boy, I hope we never end up in that situation with Ruby.
Yeah, same. I was just curious if you ran any gotchas or anything while setting it up.
No, not really. I mean, there were some things with old versions of Ruby and CorePack doesn't support. It's weird. They skipped versions that CorePack didn't support, like non-LTS releases or something like that. I don't remember.
You mean Node, not Ruby, right?
Yeah, Node. Weird things like that. But no, otherwise, it's been great. So I would definitely do that, because then nobody has to even worry about Mies even. I guess you'll have it with most installations, but like if you have a Docker image that's built on the Node Docker image, it may not have MEs, and so you don't even have to worry about it because you already have NPM and core pack and whatever to get PNPM. So that works just very portably. So as far as I have experimented with it, that's the way to go. Seems like.
Cool. I was just curious.
Yeah, but now you got to look into OB.
Yeah, I know. No.
Yeah, I guess if it takes off, then it will probably be an option in a new version of Core Pack, I would guess. So yeah, OB is awesome. Let's see. All right, here's your sales pitch. Fast installs. Warm installs are about 6 times faster than PNPM and 3 times faster than Bun. Repeat test commands run up to 45 times faster than PNPM and 6 times faster than Bun. I did see Buns being rewritten into Rust. PR.
Yeah, I saw that.
Somebody was talking about on Twitter. Existing lock files. It reads and writes PNPM lock, package lock JSON, NPM shrink wrap. I don't even know that was one. Yarn.lock and bun.lock in place. So that's kind of convenient. You don't have like an ob.lock file or anything. Cheap repeat commands. So if you run obtest, obtest, and obexec vtest, auto install when dependencies are stale, then skip that work when nothing changed. Obx uses a local binary when one is installed, or a throwaway environment for one-off tools. That's interesting. Less disk usage. A global content addressable store lets projects share package files instead of keeping a full copy of the same dependencies in every checkout. That's the big win and what PNPM was doing too. Security defaults. Out of the box, exotic transitive dependencies are blocked. Lifecycle scripts wait for approval. Trust downgrades fail at resolve. And brand new releases sit in a 24-hour cooling window. One paranoid is true line adds the build jail and turns the soft gates into hard fails. So those security things might actually be really good, especially as now like NPM's become a executable distribution mechanism and a way to install your Claude skills and whatever else. Like it's a weird kind of abuse of the package manager in a way, in the sense that we used to just think of that as a code repository. Now it's like shipping pre-built executables and all these other crazy things and exploits and stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to go check that out because Jeff is just too good at what he does. He's so good. So I immediately had trust that it was going to be great. And it seems like it is.
I saw he's full-time on open source now, I think.
Yeah. What's it called? en.dev is his, I guess, business now. You can like sponsor him, get newsletter, live Q&As, and a Discord. Then he does some consulting as well, which is sweet. And then there's like bigger sponsorship packages and stuff for companies. And it looks like Cloudflare and BuildKite and Namespace might have all sponsored him from infrastructure partners level. That's awesome. So I really hope that works out so he can do this full time. He's really good at it. And I just want him to be able to keep doing this forever because, man, tools he makes are fantastically polished.
+1. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. It makes sense that BuildKite's sponsoring him because it just makes sense, right?
Yeah. I'm also excited to see maybe his Fortnite or FNOX project hopefully takes off because, like, what was the thing that just happened with GitHub Actions? Somebody like forked a repository and got access to the API keys that GitHub Actions had when their fork was able to run, and they were able to steal some keys and publish some crap. Something recently.
I didn't see that.
There's been a whole hell of a lot of security exploits happening lately, and it is about to get way worse.
We use FNOX at Podia, and it works pretty nice.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet and really want to because I feel like that would be a really good move.
Speaking of security, Ruby Gems has been having some ups and downs while they're dealing with
I forgot about
attack.
That. Yeah. Do you know what the story was?
I can find it. I saw this morning that someone had said that it was still an issue.
Dang.
Where did I put that link?
I don't remember if they posted anything on the blog or whatever.
So we're dealing with a major malicious attack on Ruby gems right now. Signups are paused. Hundreds of packages involved, mostly targeting us, but some carrying exploits. The team has been on this for hours. More details to follow once we're through it. And I don't see any update. Pulled 120 plus malicious packages from Ruby gems today. Most of the targets were Ruby gems itself, XSS and data exfiltration. We responded to coordinated spam publishing campaign. Marty posted that. My worry is the Ruby gems attack. It could be masking something more sophisticated. No proof, just a security researcher's intuition. Hope I'm wrong. I'm reading from, I don't want to say his name because I'm not going to pronounce it right. So
we'll have a link to his post. Forget we met him at RailsConf or...
Yeah, I've met him a few times.
Yeah. Honeybadger helps you fix errors, eliminate performance bottlenecks, and dig into the details faster than ever before. With support for Ruby, Elixir, and 8 other languages, it's the best way to gain real-time insights into your application's health and performance. Keep your apps fast and error-free at honeybadger.io. That's www.honeybadger.io.
I don't see anything new from Marty. While we improve our spammer detection, we've temporarily disabled new account registration and throttled webhooks. That was on the 12th, and today is the 14th.
Yeah, that's fascinating stuff. Because you can imagine that there's typo squatting stuff too, and whatever going on. We don't really have any details of what's happening, but like we always loved in college when we discovered gem install reals or IALS, which one of my friends made that typo, and you get terminal rickrolled, which is pretty amazing. But that's such a scary thing that you make a slight typo and then boom, you're hit with something like that that's actually malicious. That's not cool. I remember, let's see, let me pull up Jeff's Twitter because he was talking about, speaking of typo squatting, he said yesterday, typo squatting prevention. If you try to add a package with less than 1,000 weekly downloads, OB will stop to make sure that you or your agent got the right name, which I thought was a great little thing there. Because, typically, unless you're the developer of that package or very intentionally need something that's obscure, that's a pretty good way to kind of just have people double check because, you could easily make a little typo like that or something that would cause some serious issues these days. Then he's got a few other things. OSV DB vulnerability checks. If it is known to contain malware, we won't let you install it. As simple as that. So I guess they query a database when installations are happening. Lifecycle hooks are default banned. However, if we detect something fishy inside of them, we'll let you know about that in a warning before telling you how to approve the build. Compatibility with Bun security scanner plugins so you can extend OB with your own scanners on top of what it already does. So he seems like he's doing some killer work on making that the most secure thing. And that's something I'd like to see in Bundler over time too, especially if they're seeing these attacks with 500 some new malicious packages being submitted and whatever. Everybody keeps talking about having a cooldown window of like, don't install any new packages that have been published in the last 7 days or something. It's like, well, look, if nobody freaking installs the packages in 7 days, then are we only just going to extend the existence of the attack that is being detected by 7 days? Is all that going to do maybe shift it over? Hopefully not. That people will be running security scanning, I guess, as soon as things are published. And hopefully the 7 days gives enough time to detect those. But if it's the end user discovering something malicious happened on their machine, then it just kind of moves that down 7 days or whatever. Maybe beneficial, maybe not. I don't know. But that's going to be more and more important to at least give the opportunity to scan things before you bundle update and just blindly install the new release of Devise or Rails or whatever package you've got. And yeah, just because it's like the security of like giving GitHub Actions keys to go publish to your Ruby gems or NPM or whatever means that GitHub Actions has to be the most critical thing that you secure. And it's hard enough to get it to run properly in the first place. So doing all the extra work to make sure you've locked it down and kept it secure is like people's last thought, because they're just happy that after 35 try to fix it commits that it finally works, and they just leave it at that point when it's like finally has worked for the first time.
Yeah. I opened up the RubyGems status page and it says the malicious spam activity against RubyGems has stopped. The bot accounts responsible have been blocked and removed, and 500 plus malicious packages published during the attack have been yanked. Registrations will remain closed while we coordinate with Fastly to enable WAF protection and tighten rate limiting on account creation. We expect this to take 2 or 3 days. We'll post another update when we are closer to being ready to re-enable user registration. Gem installs and pushes for existing users are unaffected.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness we have people working on that stuff. That's the real value to me of making sure that Ruby Central has plenty of funding to running the infrastructure and stuff is one thing, but then actually making sure that it is kept secure now that it's a central trusted source. To keep it trusted forever is a big challenge. So, yeah.
Well, as soon as Claude releases Mythos or whatever it is, I'm sure everyone will be under attack for the next foreseeable future.
Right. You give that to the hands of everyone, and then they're just going to aim that gun at everything.
Yeah, I mean, me too, bro. Like, let me at it, bro. I got some stuff to attack.
Didn't Ruby 4.04 come out this week too?
I'm
remembering right.
Sure.
It did happen. Yeah. 4.04 release notes, routine update that includes bug fixes. So no security changes on that one. That one just must have been the scheduled release. One from like 3 weeks ago or whatever did have the ERB CVE in it. If your application calls Marshall load on untrusted data and has both ERB and active support loaded, you got to update your ERB. So that was the big update in 403. So that one's good. Just upgrade to the latest one as per usual. But this time, thankfully, is not security related. I have a feeling this is just going to become a central topic we have at some point. Security stuff is just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it already feels like it's getting worse. Maybe it's not, but it feels like it is. Maybe that's just recency bias.
Yeah, well, if Mythos and things get out there, then who knows? And I know you're not writing any code by hand anymore. You're just a facade around.
No, that's not true.
Around Claude, huh?
That's fake news, dude. I was raw dogging some code yesterday. Just my fingers, dude. No Claude, no nothing. All I did was have Claude write the PR. But no, I did that. It was
I
on
only
me.
had Claude do all the work, but
I only had to do the busy work. I wrote the code.
I clicked approve, and I promise I read at least the summary of it.
I pressed 2 and 1 repeatedly.
Yeah. What else is new?
Shopify came out with Ruby Dex, Ruby DEX.
I saw the post, but I didn't look into it at all.
I tried to install it at Podia and immediately got an error. And I opened an issue, which I just remembered I did. And whatever happened with that, still open.
Okay, so what is this? High performance static analysis toolkit for the Ruby language. The goal is to be a solid foundation to power a variety of tools like type checkers, linters, language servers, and more. Interesting. And then this is written in Rust. I was just about to ask that what it was written in. It seems very much in line with Herb and stuff for ERB.
Yeah, it says that RubyDex is a new portal static analysis engine intended to provide features such as code indexing and type analysis through a convenient API. RubyDex is a framework/engine. It is not a tool itself, but rather the core building block to create other tools. Despite being in early development, RubyDex can already collect all definitions in a codebase and its dependencies, including classes, modules, constants, singleton classes, instance variables, class variables, global variables, and methods. It can index RBS documents, resolve constant references, track constant and instance variable references completely, and method references with limitations. Create declarations from the discovered definitions and constant references, linearize ancestor chains, track descendants, and query the resulting graph in many ways. Dude, how are they going to linearize an ancestor chain if it's an Alabama app? That's the question we need to know.
Too many circular dependencies.
Too many circular dependencies here.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm curious to see what comes out of that. I'm sure they got plenty of good ideas for it, so we shall see.
They said that RubyDex replaces the entire old code indexer in Ruby LSP with significantly more performant and correct implementation. I noticed something like type hierarchy, go-to definition hover, and signature report help is better handling of nested resolution with more accurate results, better completion, better test discovery for the Explorer, faster reference finding and renaming. So yeah, apparently the Ruby LSP should be faster and more accurate in certain ways.
Heck yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense that it would be a great underlying tool for the LSP, but also if you can make it generic as a Rust library, that maybe that's something that Marco could have built on top, Herb on top of, or whatever, if he was able to use that. I've never really gotten that deep into analysis of programming languages and stuff, but that sounds fun. We had like a class in college way back in the day that was build a language parser and stuff, but I haven't touched that since, like most college projects. It's
back
a fun area.
Back in my day, we built the parser. Then we punched out the whole codes and we took it over to the machine.
It is funny because I remember my dad being like, yeah, I was using punch cards and stuff in college on the computers. Now, like, shoot, I graduated in 2011. So it has been 15 years now. Dang it. It doesn't feel like that long ago, but it sure is.
I don't know. I'm tired, dude. I feel like I've lived a lifetime and a half already.
Yeah, you have. And now you don't have to, because you can just sit there and let Claude do your job for you.
Yeah.
Although everybody hates Claude now, so it's
that's
Codex.
What I really want to know is if OpenAI has like spawned like a army of bots that are going around the internet like posting like, yeah, Claude sucks, but I switched to Codex and my life is so much better.
Well, some of the pricing changes are starting to hit with Anthropic that are a big source of the negativity. So it seems like the subsidization of it all is slowly eroding away, and now you have to pay for the real costs. And holy crap, do things cost a lot of money.
I saw something the other day that, if true, is big. It was like, yeah, turns out if you're on like a Claude subscription plan and you have an env file and it has an Anthropic API key in it, Claude will just start using that Anthropic API key and bypass your like subscription. And I was like, that didn't even sound right. Like, first off, why is it reading that file to begin with?
Oh man, it sounds right. I bet you that is the case.
If someone's able to like get like all of the chat logs of like one of these big AI companies, like think about the fallout of that with all these developers sending their keys across.
We're going to have so much fun with all the API keys that are out in the wild. It's going to be a giant mess soon. So soon.
Yeah. And now we're spinning up wallets for your AI agent. Let your AI agent make purchases for you and stuff. And I'm like,
what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
That's my favorite meme that I see a lot of right now, is basically like, we're the generation that refused to accept cookies. And now we're giving AIs access to our bank accounts and random API tokens and who knows whatever else.
Yeah, I won't even open the door if someone knocks on it. But here, Claude, take all my bank statements. No, I don't actually do that. But
the only time you're going to open the door is when they bring you a secure token.
Yeah. Do y'all remember that movie? Crap, I forget who played in it. But it was the whole concept of it is that your time that you had to live was like on your arm and it was counting down and you had to use that time to like pay for things. And someone made this post on Reddit. They're like, who would have known that for all this time that movie was actually about tokens usage? We're almost in that future right now.
That's funny.
I think it was Justin Timberlake, I think.
That was the first one that came to my mind, but I didn't want to say it because I was like, isn't he the singer?
Yeah, he is, but he's done a couple of movies.
Well, I heard his world tour got ruined, so that sucks. If anyone didn't know, he was arrested on a DUI and it was like on the body cam. He was talking to the cop who did not know who he was at all. And he's like, this is going to ruin the world tour. And that's one of my favorite things I've ever heard someone say at a traffic stop. Like, yeah, buddy, well, you ruined your world tour.
Make better choices.
Yeah. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. I say we wrap it up early.
I got some sick Stripe tickets waiting for me when I get off this call.
Oh, joy. You got some Rails World tickets to sell and have people go buy.
Yeah.
I hope it's sold out by the time this episode goes live. I would think
I hope it's not sold out that fast because I still haven't gotten mine.
Well, what are you doing?
Waiting to
put
have
it on a
money
credit
to
card.
actually
What's
pay
the
for
worst? Go into debt if you have to.
Yeah, I just put it on a credit. Dude, see, that's how we know the economy is doing well because credit card usage has skyrocketed.
Yeah. That's because they're so helpful.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
great.
It works.
People are spending money, dude. Just check the credit cards. I'm trying to finance my Taco Bell order over here on Klarna.
Shoot, what was it? I saw a meme that was somebody had paid for their $1.50 Costco hot dog for it was like 4 payments of 35 cents or whatever.
Jeez.
That's how you know we're cooking right now. They're building a Costco right down the road from me.
I couldn't afford the interest on that.
Yeah. That $1.50 hot dog turns out to be like $10 or whatever.
Yeah, especially after you DoorDash it.
Yeah. Oh, then you're looking at like 20.
And that's what you put on Klarna.
Yeah, have to. God.
Yeah, probably the success of Klarna is going to be mapped 1-to-1 with the demise of the economy.
Yeah. It's time to invest, boys. Let's get in there. I saw those DoorDash robot things are starting to pop up here. And
yeah.
Every time I see one, I like want to hit it with my car or kick it over, but that's just me and my intrusive thoughts. But yesterday, I was about to pull out of my neighborhood and I saw one shoot down in the bike lane past me in the sidewalk. And behind him was a guy on a bike in a safety vest, like with a huge camera, like hanging out the back, just following it. And I'm like, this is real interesting.
Oh, it's so funny. We got to monitor it somehow. But the only way we can figure that out is using humans to do it.
Yeah.
That's our future jobs is we're just monitoring the bots.
Yeah, following around the robots.
We're just monitoring our agents running already. So like you're living that life already, dude.
Have y'all seen any of those little robot delivery ones?
I watched the Stripe, the Cheeky Pint episode with whatchamacallit. I forget the name of the guy from DoorDash, but he had brought like their newest prototype that was like, what was it? It was like heated and cooled, and it was a really futuristic one. He was talking about it, and it's a good episode worth watching. I also still can't comprehend how DoorDash is as successful and big as it is because everything is so freaking expensive.
Yeah.
And people are so freaking lazy. I will go drive the 5 minutes to go pick up a pizza instead of having it delivered.
I used to be like that, though.
Depends on that. But the DoorDash pricing, delivery sometimes on like a pizza and a tip is not near as bad as having DoorDash go pick stuff up.
Well, now some of these companies like contract out to DoorDash for their deliveries, which is annoying. I used to DoorDash every single day, and now I haven't done it in like 2-3 years. But dude, whenever I see those little robots, maybe it's just a me problem, but dude, all I want to do in the world is kick it over.
Yeah. Do you mean the loot box?
Yeah, the loot box. Yeah. I'm like, there's a meal in there somewhere.
Yeah. There's free food in there.
Yeah. Just got to get it out.
Yeah. I saw there was Amazon's testing like 30-minute delivery in some places now, like Seattle and Philadelphia. That's wild.
Yeah. I saw that their drone program is actually running in some places.
Oh, that's awesome. I did see a video of that. I couldn't tell if it was real or not, but it was like, I forget, it dropped the box like in the person's driveway and then it hit the ground and kind of like rolled into the street or something and got run over or whatever. But that could be real, could be fake. I don't know. These days with AI generated videos and shit.
Yeah. Every time I see a photo now, I start like zooming in to see like, are these details right?
Yeah, it's crazy. All right. I'm out of here. I got work to do. I got to finish up. I'm flying to Minneapolis on Monday to do a live workshop, I believe on Tuesday, or it's either Tuesday and Wednesday. What day is it? Yeah, it's Tuesday's live workshop with front-end masters doing a back-end course. Back-end masters.
I don't think you should name it that. Nah, me personally, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Thank you, Andrew, for saying what I was thinking.
Yeah, we all thought it, dude. He said back-end masters, like, hey,
That's why I had to say it, you know?
Hey, yo.
Ooh, new Nginx exploit.
Sweet.